All right, man. So apparently, the guys from Fresh and Fit, Byron and Walter, said that they don't get down with the Brown. They're not night riders, aka they don't date Shaniquas. Um, okay, so at first glance, at first listen, when you hear that kind of talk, you really get to a point where you're like, that's a bit problematic, as women would say. I don't know that saying that out loud was the best move from a social standpoint, right? But then I think about it and I'm like, okay, they didn't necessarily like. My issue with it is that the only people that really have problems with it is black women and black men who are kind of on that nonsense. And saying that you don't date black women because of, the traditional stereotypes that's associated with black women. I mean, like, look, is it cool to say out loud? I mean, that's up for people to decide. I think a preference is a preference is a preference. People have gone so far as to say they hate themselves, they hate black women. I don't think that they hate black women. And look, he said on dating apps, he doesn't necessarily go for black women because he be on dating apps. If you've ever looked at the statistics associated with black women on dating apps, they pick last. I mean, so not only do Fresh and Fit feel that way, so does everybody in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're wrong. The thing I always get upset with is that it seems as though as much vitriol and as much venom that black women spew with regards to being blatantly racist, blatantly sexist, bigoted, homophobic, etc., it would seem as though they should have thicker skin, right? So, like, I get it. You don't like when people say bad stuff about you. Who does like when people say bad stuff about you? But what are you doing to change the narrative about yourself? Like, are you actually doing some work to, have people think a different thing about you? Or are you just complaining that people are saying a thing about you? So, for example, black men have been called traditionally, at least for the last 50 years, been called deadbeat dads. Okay. To date, black men, by studies, have been shown to be the most involved fathers. We decided to take the narrative of deadbeat dad and work on that area and be better. Black men have been associated with being jailbirds. Since 2006, black men, in as far as prison population, has had the biggest decline, 34% in prison population ever. You understand where I'm going? We're taking what people, black women mainly, have said about us, and we're trying to fix it. Now, there's work to be done. Of course, you don't stop there, but you think, you know what? These things are being said about us. We should probably improve in areas, and so we're going to do so. I don't think black women care about improving upon their reputation. I just think they want people to think great things about them. You know what I'm saying? And look, for all it's worth, again, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Fresh and Fit. I look at Fresh and Fit like hockey, in the sense of, like, I watch hockey for the brawl. I watch hockey for the brawl. That's it. You know what I mean? I watch it for when they throw women off, and it's always interesting. Or, when Myron, has an argument that he breaks down some stats and makes them look stupid, because that's always funny. It's just really entertainment, though. It's really entertaining. I mean, not to say it's only entertainment. There is some kind of education associated with it, but for the most part, it is entertaining. But if you go on their show and you know what their show is about, then it just is what it is. He kicked off the young lady, is it Asian doll? Which, I mean, I never understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? I never understand black women calling themselves China doll or Asian doll or, any number of other ethnicity dolls. Some girl who's dark skinned as mud. And he kicked her off, and they kick a lot of women off. And if you get ghetto and and ratchet, they generally handle that immediately. I don't have a problem with it. Just recently, Big Sean came out, and I mentioned this on another episode, probably like 2-3 episodes ago, whereas Big Sean called the black woman God, or the closest thing to God, which would be Jesus Christ. So he called the black woman Jesus Christ. And when he did that, like, black women still tore him up. And they tore him up because he don't date the closest thing to God. He dates traditionally non-black women. The connection. It doesn't matter whether you're saying black women are great. It doesn't matter whether you're saying black women are bad. It matters whether you're picking them. Shout out to Ed Anderson. It's about sexual politics. Black women want to be picked. That's it. Black women want to be picked. And they want to be picked by guilting and shaming people into picking them. It's never, I did the work and we're better. Black women are the most over-sexualized and over-sexed group in America. The numbers show it. When people quote these stats, they are not quoting these stats to hurt your feelings. They're letting you know that people are lying to you into your face. They're telling you you're wonderful while simultaneously putting out stats on you that show that it is the complete opposite. Leading in abortions by number. Leading in children out of wedlock percentage. Leading in certain STDs. The least married, the least likely to be married. Only 1 out of 4 black women will ever be married. You don't think that there's a correlation there? The next group of women that are married at least 2 times as much as you. You don't see a correlation there? Black men are having less and less kids. 53% of black men don't even have kids. We are your first option and pretty much your only option, and we're deciding to step away from you and have less kids with you. Is it starting to make sense? Your reputation is catching up with you. And look, you can only quiet people for so long. You can only shame people for so long for saying the real about you. It's time for you to take the reputation that you have and start making strides to be better. Because you can't shame people into making good remarks about you, or congratulating you on something we don't care about, or saying how great you are. You can't make people do that. You are not public enemy number 1. You have the loudest megaphone of all. They let you say anything you want to say. I've never ever in life seen a black woman or heard of a black woman being canceled because of something she said. If it is, I'll wait. Never in the history. I've never seen a woman. And women will call you gay. Women will call you short. They'll call you broke. They'll call you fat. They'll say you got a little thing. They will say any and everything that they could possibly say about you because they can, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing. They'll get in your face. They'll do all of the above. And look, that's not all black women, but tell me of a time when a black woman did any of those things and anything happened to her. It doesn't happen. And the reason that it doesn't happen is because they have all the freedom of speech. It's time for y'all to decide. Either you're going to clean up your own reputation, or let it be what it is and just take the hits. It really ain't on us. Black women have decided to trash black men in the media for the last 50 years. All black men are saying is, hey, keep my name out your mouth. All them abortions ain't because we ain't shit. That's because of y'all. STDs, I mean shit. Some of us ain't even sexually active, so 51%, 53% of us don't even have kids. All this deadbeat dad shit, that's the niggas y'all picking. All that debt and all that shit y'all got, that's on y'all. Some of this shit is just your fault. The boys are reading at a 4th grade level and you're taking the kids most of the custody at a 90% clip. Some of this shit is just on you. Your reputation is earned. Some of this shit is just on you. So, for the guys at Fresh and Fit, look, I don't necessarily think that I would have said that out loud, but I don't disagree with their freedom to say it. Because they do have the freedom to say it. And they should be able to say that. And look, they ain't fucking with you anyway, so guess what? Don't fuck with them. Go where you appreciate it, not tolerate it. Ain't that what y'all say? Well, anyway, man, I leave the links to everything in the description, man. I'll be trying to come with more episodes. This is Mike Perkins. I'm signing off. Later on.